I just came out of a big argument with a friend of mine, and I really need you to tell me if I messed up. I've known this friend, I don't want to mention his name because he may be watching this for privacy reasons. I've known him, let's just call him P. I've known him for years, not I mean years, more than a decade now. He's a doctor, I'm a doctor. He's accomplished, I'm accomplished. There's a lot going for him. And every time I have all these red flags popping up, I think, oh no, don't overthink things. He's still my friend. But one of the signs I'm gonna tell you to look out for is when you think somebody is your friend, the only way you can know is if you're winning and they go silent on you. If you have great things happening to you and they refuse to celebrate those great things, they refuse to acknowledge you, they refuse to cheer you on and help you out, that's actually a red flag, and that's how you know they're a competitive friend. So this is my friend P. We both went to medical school, but in different cities. I went to med school in France, you know that. And he went to med school somewhere else in another city. And he became a doctor, I became a doctor. And, we all throughout the years, we've shared like passions, ideas, things we want to do together for growth, professionally, personally. And every time I see his wins, I celebrate them. He's married, he's accomplished, he has a child, things are going well for him. And every time I'm there, I'm present, I talk about it, I applaud him, I say, let's go, let's do it, keep going. I'm so proud of you. But every single time I have any good news coming up, anything that I have to celebrate, he goes silent, he's immediately busier. He's always on call. He suddenly doesn't remember my number. He tells me how he's out of town, how he will get back to me every single time. And the reason I brought up this topic with him when we just had this fight earlier this morning on the phone was I said to him about a project I've been waiting on for a while. I've been working on something and I've been hoping that it will come through. The moment we were talking, just normal banter, normal, because it's already evening time where he lives in France and I am here in America, right? So I was just like, hey, it's kind of late afternoon, you're off work today. And I was talking about just normal stuff and he was talking. The moment I said to him, guess what, my project is actually materializing. It's actually probably gonna work out. I'm very happy, and that will be a big deal and a game changer for me. I'm so happy. He immediately tells me, oh, he's so tired. Oh, can we talk about something else? He wants to bring up a topic about something that happened last week, about an argument that I had with someone else. And I told him, oh yeah, that's, by the way, I've actually forgotten about that. I want to move on. And I just said, did you hear what I just said, P? I'm telling you right now that I am on the verge of getting this big breakthrough and it's going to happen for me. And he brushes it off again and says to me, oh my gosh, he really has to go. I said, okay, hold on, P. I really feel like you're dismissing me. And you please tell me if I'm wrong. I said, I feel you're dismissing me because when I bring up a topic, there's something that's so important to me. As a friend, you're not even happy. There's no emotion. You want to bring up old stories about somebody I had an argument with last week. You want to dismiss me, telling me you're busy. What's going on? At that moment, he says to me, what am I talking about? I'm always making everything about me. I said, yeah, this moment, it's about me. Now, you guys tell me, am I wrong for asking him that this moment is about me? Because I'm telling you something good that's just happening in my life. I need you to just support me. So, well, what do you need from me? I said, well, support me. Tell me good things. Tell me you hear me. Just be there. Be a friend. And he says, oh, I'm exaggerating, I'm dramatic, and somebody who needs to hear it every time. I should know that already. And I said, even though I know that already, I'm human. It's good to hear from my friend, somebody I call my pal, my buddy, to tell me that, look, man, that's good. You're getting the project solved. You're almost at the end of it. It's going to work out. Let's do, what can I do for you? Or just say, bravo. Easy as that. And we got into this big argument because the main thing, I wouldn't back down and he wouldn't back down because, and I don't know if I made a mistake by doing that. A part of me is happy I did it because I think I spoke up. I've had this feeling, you know how you have this feeling for years and years and years that somebody's not really rooting for you, that they're your friend, they're by your side, they're eating, drinking, having fun with you. They're always pretending that they show up, but they don't really show up because when you have big moments, you don't see them. It kind of like made me feel a kind of way because I remember when I did my graduation in France, in my med school, he didn't show up for mine because it was not the same week. It was a week apart. When he did his, I went all the way to the city, showed up, was there, was present. During my time, he told me he had partied too much, that he was tired because his came before mine. He was tired. He was not feeling well. He was having hangovers. And I said, for a week, you didn't even come to my graduation. So it kind of hurt me. That went by the side. Second big major thing that I brought up to him, I said, when I was leaving France to come to America, you have to do the U.S. medical exams called USMLEs. You have to really, it's intense. It's multiple exams you have to write to be a doctor. There's accepted and can work in America. So it takes years, money, time, and effort. When I was doing it, I brought up the idea to him. He also went into the program. I went into the program. We self-studied. We bought books. We shared them. I gave him a lot of my books. And I ended up passing all my exams, coming to the United States, becoming a physician here. And he, unfortunately, didn't succeed in the exam, so he stopped in the process. And I remember very vividly, I told him, I said, P, when I announced to you that I was going to go to the University of Kansas to work as a doctor, that I finally made my dreams come through, you went silent on me. You stopped talking to me for about a month. I was so worried that I had to call his mom to ask his mom if he was still alive. No news, no show, nothing. I brought that up, and he, on the phone, he went berserk. It was almost like that was the bomb shot that I dropped. He said to me, how dare you talk about that? You know I support you. I said, well, if you support me, show me that you support me. Am I wrong? If you support me, it's not by saying you support me. Show me by your actions, repetitive action. Show me over and over again that I stand with you. I'm on your side. I'm your friend. You know, show me that. I have strangers. I had people that I had met casually. I had nurses from the hospital. I had neighbors. I had people that I don't even call friends who were very happy for me and who asked me, oh, wow, does it mean you're going to leave France? You're going to go to America and work over there? What are you going to do with your stuff? Do you need help moving things? Are you happy? What city are you moving to? He didn't even ask me the most important question. Where would you be moving to? What city? What hospital? What university accepted you? What medical program accepted you for residency? No news, no answer for a month. So I moved to America to come for my residency, and I kind of took it very personally. But after several months, we kind of got back together again. We became friends again. And so when I raised the topic this morning, I brought it up. I said to him, that's a major milestone in my life that you were not there for, and you were supposed to be there for me. And he said, what do you mean there for you? Do you want me to leave my job, my career in France and follow you to the United States because you are going to live there? I said, no, that's not what I'm saying. And that really broke my heart, because for him to even say that, that wasn't even what I was thinking about. I just said emotional support. Even as guys, we need emotional support. A friendship call, a I see you call. How can I help you? Just know I'm there for you. Like, that's all I needed from him. It wasn't even about the money. It wasn't about anything, but just show me that you're a friend. And he was just basically going on and on and on. I said, you know what? I'm sorry that I'm bringing this up, but I have to tell you, if you're my friend and I can't talk to you about how I feel about our friendship that is one-sided, that I think you're just a competitive friend, you'd want to do what I'm doing. But when I win, you go silent. The moment I lose, you want to talk about it. He said, give me one instance when you've lost. And I talked about it. I said, okay, let me give you an instance. I was in a very committed relationship. I was happy about it. I told P about my relationship. Told him everything. He never asked a question. He never wanted to know who the person was, how, where, if I was happy. You know how you want to ask your friend, are you happy? Is this the one? Are you sure? None of those questions. It was almost like I was talking to somebody who talking to myself on the phone. So eventually I kind of cut the hang of it, that he doesn't want to talk about my relationship. I brought it up to another friend of mine, and she said, oh, do you think he's not talking about your relationship because he's into you, he likes you? Don't you think he likes you romantically? I said, no, he's my friend. He doesn't like me romantically. He's just my friend. It's not jealousy, because she was making it look like, oh, he's probably jealous. He probably wants you to himself. Maybe he grew some kind of attachment, fondness, liking for you. Maybe he really wants to be with you. I said, no, we're just platonic, very good friends. Nothing to do with that. Never. It's somebody like that I see as a brother, or so I thought. Not anymore. I mean, as of now. And I said to him, when I was going through that relationship and everything was going rosy and I kept mentioning it, you kept shutting it down, you didn't acknowledge it, you kept quiet. The moment I announced to you, this is one example I told him, I said, the moment I announced to you that we were breaking up, it was over with, you automatically started asking me for signs. How did I know? What happened? How long has this been going on for? Which could be good things. Which could be things that, like, oh, my friend P is curious and wants to know how to help me. But you kept bringing it up over and over again, until even when I went through therapy, I'd healed, I told you I'd moved on, I don't want to talk about it. Every single time when I want to go on a date, you bring it up and say, be very careful. Don't go make the same mistakes again. Every single time. Every single time I want to move on, bounce back, be happy, be cheerful, meet someone, you bring it up again. I hope you're paying attention. I hope you're not making the same mistakes again. It's too soon to date. Too soon to date after how many years? That's why I was like, something ain't right. So when I brought it up to him as a classic example of when you support me when I'm down, when I have sad news and you want to bring it up over and over again, but you never support me when I'm winning, he said to me, oh my gosh, that I was silly, that's a stupid thing. He was just trying to look out for me. He knows I'm a big boy and I can handle myself. If I'm a big boy, I can handle myself. Why would I be telling you right now in a vulnerable moment that I need your support? If I'm such a big boy and I can handle myself, it wouldn't be an issue to me. So the fact that you're dismissing my thoughts, my ideas, my feelings by me telling you, look, I don't feel good that you're not supportive. I don't feel good that you're not a good friend. You're shutting it down. That shows you that I'm not a big boy the way you think I am. That shows you that I probably also like our friendship to be a two-way street, not just me giving. And, he just said, you know what, he has to go. He doesn't want to talk about this anymore. I said to him, if you go and shut this down, either we address it today and squash this, or it's going to come back in the future, or I may never have to address this with you anymore. It's like, fine, if you don't have to address it with me anymore, you can go your way. I'm tired of your bullshit. And I said, bullshit? You call this bullshit? Bullshit when a friend tells you you're not supported, when a friend tells you that you're not giving them what they need from you. All you had to do was tell me, what do you need, and I'll tell you what I need. And all I had, if you're making it look like it's equal, then I can ask you the same question, what do you need, and you tell me. But so far you're not bringing up any topics. You're not saying that I've let you down. You're not saying it's a one-way street with you and I. You're saying that I'm a good friend, right? He's like, yeah, you're a good friend, and I am also a good friend. He claims he's a good friend to me. I said, but you're not a good friend to me. If you're a good friend to me, you would listen to me. 1. 2, you acknowledge what I'm saying to you. And even if you don't know the answers to it, you would at least come to me and say, I'm sorry. How can we make this work? You're not doing any of those things. You're shutting me down. You're telling me I'm making a big case out of this. You're telling me I'm dramatic. You're telling me that you've been a good friend. You're basically telling me that I don't know what I am saying or talking about. In my definition, that's called gaslighting. And he's a smart guy. This is not like somebody who's unsure or cannot analyze things. He knows how to analyze things because I've seen him talk about other people. I told him, I feel like you're more invested with other friends that are not your close friends. We have like a larger group of people we hang out with that I know that when he talks to them on the phone, he checks up on them. He tells me, oh my gosh, he's worried about this. I said, well, how do you then call those people your just regular friends, and you call me your best friend, or at least your close friend, but you don't even check up on me? And when I bring it up to you, you shut it down. So tell me if I'm wrong. If I am feeling a kind of way, is it right to feel this way? Is this something that I feel like this is just a competitive friend who is not there for me? Do I have a right to at least address it and bring it up? And don't I deserve an answer after more than a decade of friendship, more than 10 years of being your friend? Don't I deserve to have an answer from this friend? Don't I deserve to know what the deal is? Is it wrong for a friend to be able to speak up? Am I not supposed to be emotionally connected to my friends? Shouldn't I share my thoughts, my good side, my bad side? Are friends not supposed to help each other out when you're winning? When I announce that I have a project that's coming up right now, that I'm almost at the end of succeeding in the project, which is a big deal, you don't even want to say, wow. You've heard me talk about this over and over again, how it's such a big deal. And now I'm almost at the end of it all. You don't want to applaud me. You don't want to ask me how I'm doing. You don't ask me if I'm afraid. You don't want to be supportive. You want to shut it down. I have made up my mind. If as painful as it is, that he cannot be my very good friend. That he's not, in fact, my very good friend. That in fact, all these years, I've been living in an illusion that this was my close friend. He was just a competitor who was close to me, eating with me from the same plate, laughing with me, doing everything friends could do. We spent vacations together. We spent time. There was a time he had a family member that died, his aunt. I don't want to mention her name. And I was there for him emotionally. And when I need you to be my good friend, my buddy, to stand by my side, to be supportive, you don't show up. But you only show up when I have bad news, when I have sad stories, when I have things that are horrible happening to me. That's when you become my friend. That's when you want me to not just tell you the story, but to repeat it over and over again without helping me out, without showing me ways, without giving me any feedback on how to solve the situation, without even helping me psychologically, emotionally. You just want me to repeat it over and over again. And I tell you, I have a therapist who I'm working with who's helping me out. So please tell me, was I wrong when I told my friend that he was not a good friend? And if this has ever happened to you before, a one-sided friendship or a competitive friend, let me know in the comment section. And please tell me if I'm wrong. Be honest with me. Thank you.